Hey, the name's Nathan, but they call me Nerdy Nate because I was into computers, gaming, and gadgets. And, well, I always got straight A's. Hey, Nerdy Nate! I have some calculus I need done for tomorrow. Ew! Look at all those pimples on his face! Outside of school, I had two amazing parents who loved me. Life was pretty perfect. Until tragedy struck when I was 16. Some idiot ran the red light and knocked Dad down while he was crossing the street. Sadly, Dad left us forever. Mom and I were devastated. Mom tried her best to keep things together, but after a few months, we had to sell the house and move in with my estranged Aunt Linda, who was stinking filthy rich. She married an old rich guy who kicked the bucket and left her his company and everything else he owned. It's a shame that your low-down husband didn't leave anything for you. And that offspring of yours. It's a good thing that you have a sister like me who's willing to put up with the both of you. I was angered by what Auntie Linda said. Mom shifted uncomfortably where she stood. I stepped forward to say something, but Mom squeezed my arm gently and then spoke. Thanks for having us, Linda, and paying for Nate's tuition. You wouldn't even know that we're here. Yeah, that's right. I had to change schools, and I knew this time school would be 1,000 times worse. Auntie Linda had a son a year older than me, who was just as obnoxious, greedy, and selfish as she was. Jevon was the most popular guy at school. He was a tall, wavy-haired, handsome football god, and he made sure to let me know every time he saw me. Hey, nerd, saying that you're my only cousin and all, I got you a little something. I watched as one of the members of the football team brought out a blow-up doll. This is Cindy. Say hi to Cindy, loser. People in the hallway began to snicker, and I felt sick to my stomach. Hello, Cindy? Now, kiss your new girlfriend! I backed up, but was soon pinned against the lockers while the crowd chanted, Kiss her! Kiss her! Kiss her! Jevon pressed Cindy's plastic lips against mine. The crowd roared with laughter. Just then, Amanda walked up and pushed Jevon to the side. Jevon, you're so immature! Just leave Nathan alone. Amanda was Jevon's crush. Amanda was a gorgeous cheerleader and the most popular girl in school. Jevon propped his elbow against a locker, but his elbow slipped, and he banged his head on the locker. Everyone laughed until Jevon gave them a stern glare that shut them all up. Hey, Amanda! We're just having a little fun. And you and I both know that Cindy here is the only girl who'd kiss a loser like him. Just leave him alone. Surprisingly, Jevon did. As the weeks passed, Jevon tormented me by locking me in my locker with spiders and dunking a bucket of glue over my head, among other things. But the meaner Jevon was to me, the nicer Amanda became. One day, he even asked her out, and she rejected him. I guess he blamed me because what Jevon did next made me want to hurt him in 1,000,001 ways. That afternoon, Mom came home from work and told me Jevon went to the restaurant where she worked as a waitress and created a scene causing her to be fired. Mom! Why are we staying here to let them treat us like dirt? We've got to get out of here. And go where, Nate? Linda's my only family. I don't have anywhere else to go. I'm so sorry for getting you into this. Mom then excused herself, and I heard her crying in the bathroom. I went in search of Jevon and found him in his room. I charged at him like a raging bull, but Jevon was too quick for me, and instead of punching him in the face, I punched his bedpost. Huh! Guess you heard that Auntie Kim got fired. Mom's always looking for another maid. Maybe she could apply in the kitchen. Sadly, Mom did ask Aunt Linda for a job in the kitchen. She was paid less than everyone else and worked way more hours. But Mom never complained. As time went on, Amanda and I began studying in the school's library to hide from Javon. After spending so much time together, I sort of grew a crush on her. And Valentine's Day around the corner, I decided to use that day to muster up my courage and declare my love for her. On Valentine's Day, I walked into school with trembling legs and a huge bouquet of roses in my hands, and Amanda's favorite chocolate. I spotted her in the hallway talking to her friends and walked up to her. "Hey, I got you these, and I'd also like to know if I could take you to dinner tonight." Did you really think I'd like someone like you? You're poor, practically homeless, and I can play connect the dots with the pimples on your face. Ew! You'll never be in my league. I was only hanging out with you because you did my homework, and Daddy said that if I got good grades this year, that he'd buy me the Mercedes that I wanted. My heart was crushed. Amanda dumped the flowers and chocolates in the bin, and then she and her friends laughed and walked away. Sadly, I turned and began to walk away when I heard a soft voice behind me. It was Carrie, one of Amanda's friends. "I'm so sorry about what Amanda said. Some of us don't care about money or status. I like you just the way you are." I know you must be thinking that I should have jumped at the opportunity to start something with Carrie, but I just couldn't get Amanda off my mind. So I said something pretty stupid. "Thanks. I guess see you around." That afternoon, I was thinking of ways to make money so that I'd at least have a chance with Amanda when Javon barged into my bedroom.
"Did you really try to ask Amanda out? Amanda's mine!"
Javon punched me in the stomach and knocked the wind out of me. He threw more punches my way, and even though I'm not proud to say it, I screamed like a little girl, which brought some of the servants, including Mom, pouring into my room. And they dragged Javon off of me. Just then, Aunt Linda walked and Mom went off. "Your son is a monster! Keep him away from Nathan!" "You're the monster here. You stole Chad away from me." "Chad was my dad. Mom would never steal someone's boyfriend. Would she?" "Linda, get over it! Chad never liked you because you always made everything about you." "I'll never forgive you for what you did. Leave! Now!" Immediately, Mom and I grabbed our things and left. That night we slept at a homeless shelter. I wondered if I should have just taken Javon's beating like a man. At least Mom would have her job and I'd be able to go to school. Over the next few weeks, we stayed at the shelter. Mom was able to find a job in a law firm while I finished high school online, which really wasn't that hard since I was pretty smart. After high school, I worked tirelessly on a gaming app for the next few months. Once completed, I launched it, and almost immediately my gaming app became a mega success, and I was named one of the youngest self-made millionaires. I purchased a house for Mom and me, and also took her on a shopping spree. I also got a complete makeover. I lost the glasses and got contacts, took care of my skin, and even went to a hairstylist to tame that red hair of mine. I also got jobs building apps for major companies. I made sure and added an Instagram account and posted my lavish lifestyle. My heart raced when Amanda began to follow me, so it wasn't a surprise that she called me soon after. "Hi, Nady, babe." "Hi, Amanda. What's up?" I tried to act calm, but my heart was doing flips, and my palms were sweaty. "Prom's coming up. Would you like to take me?" "Sure. I'd love that." "And will you be my boyfriend?" Of course I said yes. It's what I'd been waiting for. Amanda and I chatted on the phone for a bit before we hung up. On the night of the prom, all eyes focused on us as we stepped into the prom. Javon glared at me and marched over. He tried to punch me, but before he could, one of my bodyguards grabbed his fist and dumped him into a nearby trash can like a rag doll. That night, Amanda spent more time bragging about her super-loaded boyfriend Then we danced. That should have sent alarm bells ringing in my head, but that didn't happen until the restaurant incident 3 weeks later. From the time we stepped into the restaurant, she became extremely bossy.
This cutlery is filthy! I want new, shiny ones. Now! Do you know who we are? Where's the manager? The color of this tablecloth doesn't match my outfit. Ugh, it needs to be changed.
I apologized to the staff and tipped them heavily. But what Amanda did next was unforgivable. When she was almost done eating her dinner, I watched as she plucked a strand of her hair and placed it on her plate, then bellowed for the chef.
Ah! How dare you serve me food with hair in it?
Have you gone crazy? Your stupid prank could cause this place to shut down.
And what if it does? Who cares? This spot would be perfect for a mall anyway.
I told the chef everything and got Amanda kicked out of the restaurant. I settled the bill and left. While I hopped into my car, I saw Javon's car pull up and Amanda jumped in. The pair deserved each other, that's for sure. A few streets away, I saw a man running away with a purse in his hand and a scream rang out.
Thief! Thief!
I quickly swerved onto the pavement and the man slammed into the car. In the few seconds he was dazed, I hopped out of the car and grabbed the purse. The thief ran away, and when I spun around, Carrie was running towards me.
Thank you so much.
I was breathless. Carrie wore a short, flared, white dress, and her hair fell on her shoulders. Under the moon, she looked like an angel. She was flawless. Even more beautiful than I remembered. Why hadn't I noticed her before? I cleared my throat nervously. No problem. Where are you heading? Maybe I can give you a lift.
My date actually stood me up, so I'm gonna grab a pizza. Want to join me?
Your date is an idiot. You look beautiful. His loss. Carrie blushed and we hopped into the car. A few minutes later, we pulled up to the pizzeria. Carrie was so different from Amanda. She greeted everyone with a smile, and she even paid for a meal for a family when she noticed the mom wasn't eating. Carrie and I had a great time, and when I dropped her home, I asked her out on a date, and she said yes. Over the next few weeks, my life was great. After a few dates, I asked Carrie to be my girlfriend, and even Mom started dating one of the top-notch lawyers where she worked. But what made it even better was when I found out that Aunt Linda's business was going under, and they needed investors big time. Under aliases, I bought shares in the company, and when I had reached 51%, I was ready to make my move. All the investors and their significant others were invited to a private dinner party, each of whom was going to be given a chance to chat for a few minutes with everyone during the dinner. I arrived when Aunt Linda was on the stage making her speech, so the room was dimly lit, and she, of course, had a spotlight on her. I glanced over and saw Amanda sitting next to Javon. When my fake name was called, I adjusted my tux and walked up to the podium. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a position for you. Aunt Linda's jaw dropped.
What are you doing here?
I own 51% of your company, and in a few minutes, I'll own it all. I bought out the other investors for double their purchase. Once I owned the company, I fired Aunt Linda and placed Mom as the CEO. Of course, Amanda dumped Javon, and a few months later, Aunt Linda had to sell everything to pay off her debts. She even showed up at the company begging for a job. I told her she needed to apply just like everyone else. Needless to say, I gave her a janitorial job with the same salary she used to give my mom. 2 years later, I took Carrie to the restaurant where we had our first date, complete with candlelight, lilies, her favorite flower, and her favorite food, pizza. I asked her to marry me, and luckily for me, she said yes.